Hey, Tony Wallow. Good evening. I'm going a little bit earlier tonight. I'm going to give this a shot, actually, and see how things go. Hope your Sunday was good. My Sunday was about as well as could be expected, actually. Got in a real good afternoon with Doug. I learned some things. I figured some things out. Answered a bunch of emails. Did the Saturday night, or I'm sorry, Saturday night, Sunday evening, afternoon thing with Zoom with a few people that wanted to watch the part two of Get Back. So I did that, and that worked out real good. And now I am going to wait and see what happens here. So here's my first test of the hotkeys. Hopefully the audio and video is good. There was some adjustments earlier. Yeah, it looked like that was about okay, I guess, on the lag. For some reason, my monitoring system has gone out to left field, and I'm not sure why. I'll figure that out later, maybe. Now it shows Darren is in the room. He's probably not. I made him the host when I left a while ago because I figured he'd be asleep, and then anyone that wanted to chat could. And when I got back, nobody was here, so that's fine. Got to figure out a way to do that on a regular basis. Maybe figure out someone to be the co-host or something. I don't know yet. So let me go in here and hit this and go 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, and about 5 seconds. That's not too bad. Could be worse. Could be way worse. Did get the debris picked up from the storms on Friday. Of course, mine wasn't near as bad as what everybody else's was, so it only took me about 15, maybe 20 minutes at the very outside most to do. I can't really complain considering the damages that was done elsewhere in the world. I really consider myself to be very lucky on that. And again, I'm actually trying to do something in the background. And we all know when I try to think and talk and type at the same time, that usually doesn't go very well. I think I'll do this right here. Hey, Robert. I'm in the process of putting together the invitations. I'm a little earlier. It's got me a little out of whack. So I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody. I mean, I always do. Not intentionally either. I really do not ever intentionally leave anybody out. And I doubt Catherine joins us tonight. She was watching the Get Back thing earlier today. So I think that might be everybody. Let's go ahead and hit that. And it should be in about 2, 1, change. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. So hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Mine was pretty good. I took some notes when I was talking with Doug earlier. Actually took quite a lot of notes talking with Doug. You probably will notice my name has changed because we wanted to experiment with the can you change your name and you retain your mod status? And the answer is yes, you can. So that led us down a slight bit of a rabbit hole looking for something. And I'm waiting to hear back from Doug because I pretty much narrowed down who the Lin Chin Ying Yu was or whatever it is. And I'm waiting to hear back from that person as well. Hi, Alex.
Hi, good to hear from you again today. I was starting to get worried about you because I was waiting to see Doug's live stream or whatever, and it never happened.
No, what he did is he did a private thing, Actually, we did, I believe, 2, maybe 3 of those, and um, I got to see it as it was happening, obviously, because I was involved. And I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's going to edit it and then publish them. I don't know. We were just messing around with the private, how that works. It was interesting. It was really fun. If you're just joining us or if you've not been watching the stream, we did figure out, yes, you can change your name.
Yeah, I did notice that you changed your YouTube name from Ken Stout to Ken Stout Live.
Correct. And maybe in a couple days I'll go back and see if I can change it, because Doug seems to think you don't have to wait any length of time to do that. I don't know. But Ken Stout Live is cool. That's what I tell everybody to look for anyway, so maybe it'll pay off. Who knows? So my day was rather short and hectic. I did a little bit of talking with Darren and Blackwatch between 1 and 1:30, and then obviously take her to work. I didn't have much time getting back when Doug was going to be here at 3, and it lasted right at 2 hours. And then I did the Zoom thing with the part 2 of Get Back, and I sent a few invitations out. Nobody ever responded. Catherine was there, Darren was there, Blackwatch was there, and I believe there was one other one at one time. And I started it, and then I actually watched it again. It was really worth watching the second time, or maybe even the third time. I don't know how I'm going to do part 3 yet. So anyway, that's my day in a nutshell. I figured you had church all day.
No, I actually did not have church. We actually canceled.
Oh, that's right.
church.
You were telling us last night they canceled it because a few people turned up positive with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't try to do a live stream or anything of it.
Our preacher did a. He don't. We don't have the computer to do at church to do live stream. At least I don't think we do. And our sound guy, I don't think he knows how to do any of that either. I tried to get him to upgrade the computer on numerous different times, but he refuses to. And his main excuse for not wanting to is because it's only a couple of years old.
It should be plenty. It should be, if it's only a couple years old, I would think it would be able to do a live stream then. I would think. I don't know.
It's only I got a hold of it's a Dell, so I was able. My mom works it sometimes for him on Sunday mornings when he's not there,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was able to get her to take a picture of the service tag information on the computer, and so I could look it up on the website at home. And it's only got like a 1 terabyte mechanical hard drive and 8 gigs of RAM, so it's very slow.
Laptop or desktop?
It's a desktop,
Oh, okay.
but believe it or not, it's compatible with whatever it is, Gen 3x4 NVMe drives. So if he wanted to spend the $50 or whatever to upgrade it, I could upgrade it very, very easily. It's just trying to explain,
Right.
why he would want to do that. But I don't know if they're even interested in doing live streams. So right now, he just records if we're at church, he'll just record the service on the camera, and then the preacher will take it home and upload it. Or during COVID, the preacher would go up to church by himself, set up a camera in front of the pulpit, and then preach into the camera, and then upload it for everybody to watch. So at least the situation has made it so that the preacher wants to upload. There's a reason to upload the videos.
Yeah, unfortunately, with those people coming down positive, it did change. Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
Good evening. I didn't know if you wanted to watch the part 2 of Get Back or not, and I don't remember if I sent you an invitation or not either. So.
Well, you sent me a new link. Is that a new persistent?
No. Yeah. That'll be the link you got tonight's cool. That
okay, is it going to stay for a while or?
Until someone sneaks in, and then
Okay.
I'll have to do some investigative work and maybe figure some things out.
You won't catch me.
Oh, a challenge. The gauntlet is laid down, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, geez. I did figure out who my Lin Chin Yu was, or Lin Chin Yu, or whatever we're going to call him. And how I figured it out was, one of the things Doug and I discussed was, I said, hey, you had someone in your stream yesterday, Lin Chin Yu, and he goes, I did? And he's a moderator. He goes, he is? So we researched that, and I got a pretty good idea who it is, and I've sent an email out, and until I either get confirmation or the good old FU, I'm not going to divulge who it is.
Sure. Well, it doesn't matter to the rest of us anyway. It only matters to you.
Sure. Well, if I'm right, it matters to me. If I'm wrong, then I'm still going to have my OCD bother me to figure out who it is.
Well, has he done anything wrong yet?
No. It just, I knew that I had not made that name a moderator, okay? And Doug and I did a test. You'll notice my name has changed, and it was an instant change, and in everything I checked with Doug's, my moderator status is still good. So if Jeff wanted to change his name tomorrow to Dim Sum Dung or something, he would show up as a moderator as Dim Sum Doug. And there's no harm in that whatsoever, but obviously if it's an odd name, I'm gonna have some doubt as to, okay, did somebody sneak in and is hacking me, or what's going on.
To be sort of prejudiced, I'm not being that way, but I would have noticed that, I would have said, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying.
I mean, I don't care, but
the guy's name is, what was it? Lin Chin Yu, Lin Chi, and I agree with you. Maybe Lin Chin Yu, cute way of saying that. I don't know, but that's the first thing I caught was the fact that it was an odd name, and it was a mod.
That's in your channel, not Doug's.
Yeah, on my channel. No, the same guy. The same guy was there yesterday. We tracked it down. He looked it up on his timestamp thing, and I learned something about the timestamps today that I didn't know. How that works. And that was pretty interesting. Oh, somebody's apologizing now.
I'm not sure how to change my name anyway. I had a sort of another name once upon a time, and it was an alias. And I got rid of it after I got into a pissing contest with Carrie over something by accident.
It was relatively easy to change my name.
You can change it in Gmail, or
You can change it in YouTube too.
Permanently?
You can change it. You can change it in YouTube as well. That's where we changed it.
Okay, I've got 2 accounts. I had a YouTube account years ago, and then I had a separate Gmail account, first one. And I've halfway straightened out some of that. I don't really use either email account. Anyway.
Also, I wanted to put out for tonight included and yesterday included, I've went ahead and opened it back up to anybody because it's my understanding that Jim does not subscribe. So
right, he did. Yeah, that's what he told me.
I like Jim. I enjoy it when he joins.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and opened it back up. If he joins, cool. If he don't, cool. Either way, I mean, I might email him and say, hey, it's now open to anybody. I haven't yet. It was a good afternoon. Real good afternoon. Doug and I talked about the vet-to-vet thing, and he gave me some ideas on that. At some point in time, I probably will do a sub-channel, but that's not going to be until, first of the year maybe. I don't know.
Okay, what does a sub-channel mean? That's just...
Instead of being Ken Stout Live, in today's vet-to-vet, it'll be vet-to-vet with Ken Stout or something like that. It'll be a whole separate channel. And he brought up some good valid points. Same thing with DaVinci Resolve. If I decide to go down the DaVinci Resolve more, then I'll make another sub-channel. If I can have 2 sub-channels. I don't know if we can or not. We discussed Zoom, and he sets his up a little differently, but we basically are pretty close to the same. I do mine from the web. He does his on an individual basis. I just assume set it and not worry about it. It's just
Okay, now you
easier.
didn't change your link from the last time.
No.
I just cut and pasted this into a little file I keep for YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And I
What do
see
you
it-
mean he does his on an individual basis?
I've got mine and Robert's set up to where it's not going to change. He does it when he starts the Zoom. He makes the changes right then and there. I wouldn't. It's just easier for me to not do that. I would get confused. So
But
it's
his
just
link and his ID or ID number and password are always the same.
right as far as that goes. It is, but there are other settings that I have set that he changes when he starts each session, and that's fine. And I got an answer for you. You asked a while back, what does Doug use for his thumbnails? Remember?
Yes.
He uses a program called, or a website called Canva, Canva. There's a free version and a paid version. He uses a paid version. And I have not looked into it yet. I probably won't. I can
I've heard of it.
Okay.
But
I think I can do the same thing that what he was showing me on DaVinci Resolve. So it was a good 2 hours. It really was. He only got confused once, and we talked about that actually. And he literally sat back in his chair and goes, "I relish the fact that you guys say that I'm confused and I don't know what I'm doing all the time." And I
I
believe
never
him.
say he doesn't know what he. I've said he's confused, but now he doesn't know what he's doing.
No problem, Matthew. We just got started and we really haven't gotten anything going yet. Yeah, he clearly knows what he's doing, and I think sometimes maybe he goes down the very long and winding road to get results, but he usually gets results. So that's the bottom
well,
line.
he's a guy that doesn't necessarily remember how he did something exactly.
Oh, I can relate to that.
He has the right logic to get there from wherever he starts usually.
Yep, and his logic.
I don't know if I'm saying that exactly right. Hope you understand.
No,
what
I do,
mean.
because it was his logic that actually helped me to figure out who that person was. And if I hadn't have seen, if I wasn't trying to catch up watching his stream yesterday and actually seen that name, I would have never figured it out. Never. And changing the mod status, that's how I figured out who it was. So, hey, hello. Good to see you again. I can't pronounce your name. So, we got somebody in chat. And that's probably going to happen. I think what I can do, I'll have to think this through, but I believe if Jim joins, then I can go into the settings and close it, and then, I don't know, I'll have to figure that out. So, Gary, how was your Sunday?
Christmas shopping.
Boy.
Mm.
I would have gladly swapped places with you,
Who, me or Gary?
Gary,
Or both?
because neither one of my parents like shopping. I mean, I'm the only one in the family that I think that actually enjoys going shopping. And
I'm still
I
too
was
much
gonna
of
say
a
I was
kid.
gonna say something else, but I forgot.
I'm too much of a kid, and I don't get anything back. That sounds horrible. But
I don't care if I get anything back. I'm not a big shopper. I will have to say that the grandkids are probably a very bad thing for me on birthdays and Christmas because, they'll like this, they'll like this, they'll like this, you know. And the voice of reason says no, they probably won't, or maybe we should ask Mariana, and that's my son's wife. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask her because you know she's going to say no. So they are getting a noisemaker for the grandson. So
how old is he?
he will be 2 on the 31st of this month.
Getting one of those popcorn things.
No, I think the one I got him is probably going to be good enough.
Where they push it as pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, he's not into that yet, and probably I don't think he will be.
Yeah, many years ago, we got my wife's nephew a drum set for Christmas.
That's on the list. That's on the
And
list.
we were threatened with much retaliation. I don't think any of it ever came to pass.
Come to
I
your house and break your windows.
yeah, change the number on the. Hey, Kenny Whitten, good to see you. Kenny joining us in the chat room on the YouTube stream. I just remembered someone else I forgot to send that out to, so I thought I'd better go ahead and do that real quick. Bring the globe, get rid of the globe. I think retaliation would be dumping the kids off for the weekend or something, and I would actually enjoy that. That would be fun. Of course, they might not enjoy it when they get them back. I don't know if you guys that are friends with me on Facebook watched the video or not, but at one time in the video that was 23 minutes and 5 or 8 seconds long, I was trying to teach them how to say, "No way, Jose." Actually got pretty good at it, but I don't think they'll remember. So, and no, she's not Hispanic. She's also actually Bulgarian. I should teach them something in Bulgarian if I could figure it out. I just go looking for trouble. I really do. Your son is going to kill you. Yeah, he probably will. He was pretty forgiving about the coffee getting spilled on the couch, so I don't know. My youngest one probably. The oldest one, he's got a good sense of humor about things. So I did wrap one present today. That's an accomplishment. I hate wrapping Christmas presents. If it were left up to me, I'd carry the big old shopping bag in and go, "Here's yours, here's yours, here's yours, here's yours." I realize that's not
Mom's
exactly.
got all of our wrapping done, but it's because we were originally planning to have our Christmas tomorrow.
Right.
But now that ain't gonna happen.
Oh, we could have it. Could be planned. I'm not very good at wrapping, so I really don't like to wrap things. And I wrapped one. That's about 2 feet wide and about 3.5 feet tall and about 18 inches wide or whatever. And that was not fun. As a matter of fact, I had to piecemeal it together because the paper wasn't enough to cover it.
Can y'all hear that?
Little dog barking?
My dog's barking outside. Just curious if y'all can hear that.
A little
Just
bit.
barely.
If we listen for it, we can. It's not obvious or anything.
Oh, Alex, I got the email you sent me, so I got your email address now. I got a link I want to send you at some point. Might be of some help in a job search, I hope. I didn't get to.
At this point, I've applied for so many, I'm honestly forgetting what I applied to.
Well, this is a website that supposedly works with disabled people to help them find jobs. So they might have some ideas none of the rest of us might think of.
Or some contacts.
I don't know anything about them. I found them with a Google search. And I was looking for IT jobs for somebody who wanted to work from home and couldn't travel, that sort of thing. And I was just screwing around searching and stumbled on this site. And if I can find it again, I hope I will send you the link.
It wasn't the Arc of Arkansas, was it?
Nope.
Okay.
But so anyway, if my old brain remembers to do that, I'll send that to you next day or so.
Can relate to that too.
Yep.
So Alex, have you reached out to the Arc of Arkansas yet?
No, I've been looking. I've still just been looking for jobs. The normal way, through job websites. And
Sure. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, let me ask you a question here, Alex, and if it's not appropriate, just tell me and I'll shut up. Do you have health insurance such that you don't need insurance from a job?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the things I thought might be contributing to your lack of success here is that if it's a small company who does happen to offer some health insurance and they perceive a potential new hire as needing lots of insurance, that might be something that might be a red flag to them. They'll never say it out loud because that would be illegal, I think.
It would
Yeah,
be.
it would be. Yeah.
But we all know that stuff happens that shouldn't.
Sure. Sure.
I can remember when I was working at the National Lab in Tennessee, and the group I was loaned out to, we posted a job description. And the group leader wrote it in such a manner, he had a particular person in mind. And somebody else turned up with a resume that was qualified that we didn't think would happen. And the guy who posted the job link just rescinded the job link and then later reposted it. And that isn't quite kosher either. But
No, I
stuff
think
happens.
not, but I'm sure that happens a lot.
happens.
Sure.
I've seen that happen a lot with probably at least 2 or 3 jobs around here. I apply for them, they say no, and then a few days later I see that same job posted up again.
And I don't know how you would approach somebody in an interview, but if you think the health insurance thing might be a concern, you might need to think about how to bring up the fact that you don't need health insurance in some manner that's not going to turn them off or
Sure.
sound awkward or whatever.
Right.
Of course, most of them nowadays, they're putting that as part of the package. They're figuring their salary into it. You know, you make 50 plus the insurance. That's what you make, 70 then.
Right. I mean, and I don't know what the normal is anymore. Fringe benefits used to be considered a significant portion of the cost.
They are. Health insurance
And
is similar.
if you do contract work, it's easier to negotiate that sort of thing. Like now, I mean, I've got Medicare and a Medicare supplement through which I arranged through my retirement from one of the jobs I held. And if I'm going out trying to find some new work, just even work from home stuff, I always point out that without going into detail, I just say, look, I don't need health insurance.
Sure.
I don't need any benefits or whatever.
Well, I mean, if they wanted to hire me and give me a 401k with a match, I wouldn't say no to it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really looking for benefits at this point in time if I'm going out trying to find some consulting work. And
You're
so-
looking for money.
Right.
Yep.
And it
But-
depends whether or not they want to hire you as a W-2 employee or a 1099 employee. If they want to hire me as an independent contractor, then I want a few more bucks an hour since I got to pay all my own Social Security tax and all
Sure.
that crap.
Isn't that fun?
I mean, I've done that, and a long time ago now, but
I was
I
trying
had
to
one subcontracting job that was quite lucrative at one point. It's interesting, when I was working here in Las Vegas on this nuclear waste repository project, most of the people working for the contractor, most of us got laid off in March 2009, at the end of March. The government had cut back the funding for it and hired a new contractor, and a bunch of things went into it, including some
Sure.
influence from our ex-senator Harry Reid here, who was Senate Majority Leader.
Let me
at the
give a
time.
real quick shout out. Rick Lake joins us in the YouTube stream. Hi, Rick. Good to see you.
But at any rate, a bunch of us got laid off, and the project that had maybe 1,500 on it went down to less than 100.
Wow. Now did the
And due to some circumstances of some information they needed, about 4 months after most of us got laid off, they called me up and said, could you do such and such and such and such? And that was something I'd worked on for 30 years off and on. And so then they hired me back through a subcontractor as a 1099 employee. And I was making more working 20 hours a week than I had working 40 hours a week earlier.
So that worked out well.
And that year, in spite of the fact of being laid off, when I took into account the severance pay, which was a little bit, and I had a potload of vacation saved up due to some circumstances where the company had wanted us to work through the end of the year, the previous year, and not take the vacation. And when I counted all of that and then the higher pay and this and that and the other thing, I made more money the year I got laid off than I ever made in my life.
My son, they look like they're going to close office area.
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19 closed. Nothing. Matter of fact, they actually hired some people, and they had a couple employees. They went to Florida. Believe it or not, one went to Phoenix because she had relatives there. And they're still working every day. But I mean, they're working literally from Florida. Two of them. They're not related or know each other. They just both went to Florida. They direct deposit their paychecks, and then they work every day.
Yeah. But anyway, sometimes circumstances turn out not quite like you think they're going to, and that turned out to be a good year in spite of the fact that I got laid off at the end of March. So.
Yeah, they asked Lorna tonight if she wanted to move to the knock shift, and she said no, which is good.
Move to what?
To the overnight shift, the knock shift.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to work that, but I never have.
Oh, it's no fun.
Is there extra pay for the night shift?
She didn't say, because that was kind of one of my thoughts too, but I want her to go to the day shift, which is 6 to 2, but I don't think she's going to do that either, primarily because she keeps saying they don't have any openings on 6 to 2. However,
well, that's probably the shift most everybody wants. What does she work now?
Her primary shift's 2 to 10. That's her on paper shift, but she works usually 10 in the morning till 10 at night, and then on Sunday she's been working 6 in the morning till 2. Except for this Sunday, they wanted her to work 2 to 10, and the reason for that was when they asked her, she didn't know it, but there were 3 people going home at 6 o'clock tonight, and that would have left them with literally no staff. So she kind of had her eyes open a little bit on that tonight. But ironically, they hired back a girl that they fired 2 months ago, and they fired her today. So figure that out. That makes no sense.
Well, here we go again. My screen's flickering again. I'm about ready to throw it out and get a new.
Don't do that. Don't throw it out. No, you can throw it out. Don't get a new one. Okay. Just believe in these words. Do not get a new one.
Yeah, if anything's happened, I don't know if you noticed the other night. I don't know if it was one of your stations or not. My screen kept going blank on me, and the camera kept shutting off on me, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I would switch it back on, it would shut off. Switch it back on, it would shut off again. And then you may have seen me. I went away for a while. When I did, I just shut down the computer completely, not a restart, but a hard shutdown and then a restart.
Right.
And the camera returned to functioning normally. Have no
But again,
idea what
I
it was
only
doing.
notice it. Again, I only notice it when we're in Zoom. That's the only time I notice it is when.
Which is odd, but that in itself is very odd. But Just
But the same
have a little
behavior-
faith and don't get a new one. Even though you might need one. Okay? I have it on good authority. You probably will be getting a monitor real soon. Okay?
All right, whatever you say. I'm just talking.
You should.
Video won't start. Greg says video won't start. Greg joined us
Yeah,
in.
Around
notice
this time
that.
of year, Alex, you should believe the old guy with the white beard.
That would be me. Which is it's getting ready to come off,
Well,
I guess.
that is actually you and Jeff.
Well, I just have the goatee part. I have spots on either side that have no whiskers at all, so I can't grow a full beard.
Greg is saying the video won't start. Greg, you're in the Zoom chat. The Zoom. Are you talking the Zoom won't start or the YouTube video won't start?
Zoom won't start.
It looks like his webcam won't start on Zoom because his name keeps showing up and then going away real quick on Zoom.
Right. I would do maybe what Jeff did. Just restart your whole system. See what happens.
I mean, the other night, Greg, I ended up shutting all the way down and restarting, and that cured whatever glitch. Now, the computer had been on for a few days without
Yeah, that's...
shutting
Just did
off.
a fresh boot up.
You know,
Yeah, I do a reboot. I haven't done the complete hard shutdown in a while, actually. I might maybe have to start doing that. But
Fine.
it does fix a lot of things.
yeah. Normally, I just do a restart.
Hey, Alex.
Hey,
I got a question for you.
okay.
Do you use HDMI cable from the monitor, from your computer to monitor, or monitor to computer?
It's a little bit longer of an answer. Monitor has VGA and DVI, so I use for the actual monitor, I use an HDMI cable from my computer, from the back of my computer to an HDMI to VGA converter, and then the monitor is connected via the VGA cable. Now for my TV over here, my second screen, I use a USB-C to HDMI adapter, which goes into a HDMI splitter, and one of those ports goes into my HDMI, goes into an HDMI switch, which goes into my capture card so I can record it if I want to. But
Okay.
yeah, it's not directly connected. The actual monitor is not directly connected. It's connected into a converter.
Okay. Well, I've been told what you just said that I don't understand, but 3 words of that, the word was perfect. So, good. Everything will fall into place. You'll get a new monitor. I mean, I have it on good authority that your monitor problem will be resolved and everything will be good to go. There's Greg.
Yeah, it finally worked. I just did a fresh reboot.
Would you get up and kick it?
No, before I logged on, I did a fresh. I just
That's
powered up
crazy.
the computer.
Computers
Hey,
can
Greg,
be weird. So look, now there's another white bearded person, and you should listen to the people with the white beards.
Yes, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that I couldn't remember 100% if Greg had a white beard or not.
It's been white for many years.
There's a guy in his 20s that has a YouTube channel from the UK called It's My Natural Color that does all kinds of tech videos and stuff. Specifically like Mac and Apple related stuff. And his hair, even though he's in his 20s, is solid white.
Yeah. This up
brother-in-law
here's
and
dyed. It's a Filipino thing. This right here is
Yeah.
natural, and it's probably coming off at the end of the holidays.
My brother-in-law in Oklahoma has been almost purely white-haired since he was about 30.
So how's Greg's day been?
A little slow. I didn't sleep good last night. I went to bed about 2:30. Woke, tossed and turned, and looked at the clock, and it said 5:30. I got up, watched a World War II movie that I had recorded. Fell asleep at 9 o'clock. Woke up at 11:30. Fell back asleep till about 2:30, and fell back asleep about 6 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, and then I made dinner.
So you didn't get you. That explains why you didn't answer the link for watching Get Back Part 2. Then,
Yeah,
okay.
I checked about 2:45, but you weren't on.
Well, I was with Doug, and he wrapped it up right at the 2 hour mark, so that worked out really good. And then I was worried about how I was going to do it because it's like 2 hours and 53 minutes long. So if I start at 5, it's going to be over right around 8 o'clock. Her dinner's at 8 o'clock, so I was going to have to drive extremely fast or be a few minutes late, which as it turned out, I didn't have to do either. She was a little late to dinner, so that was good. Now we got to just figure.
Have you talked to Catherine today?
Yes, I have. We discussed getting the volume correct on Get Back because apparently it was really low at one point in time. So
Did you already show the second part, or?
Yes, I can re-show it if anyone's
No,
interested. I mean, it's
Well,
2
I'm
hours
gonna
50. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to cut out on you here in a little bit. We haven't had our evening meal yet. We ate our brunch a little bit late today due to some transportation issues. I ended up taking my grandson to batting practice this morning, and then when that was done, on to some ball games. He played 3 ball games today.
Baseball?
Yep, they won all 3 games. He
Nice.
plays with a 9-year-old team, and they beat 2 older teams today, among other things.
Yeah.
But I dropped him off at the game, and I came back and got my wife and Olivia, and we went out and did our Sunday brunch thing, but it was later than normal. And I got home from that, and I had somebody at the park waiting for him, and then that guy had to take off. And I was getting that in my truck to drive over there, and I got a call from one of the other families that my grandson was waiting there for me. So I had to drive like hell to get over to the baseball park, and then I grab him and get back home. So we haven't had supper yet, and we eat a big brunch on Sunday, so I'm not sure. I'm not going to make much.
Yeah. I thought I'd give this a shot early tonight. It worked out that she said pick her up at 10:30, so I figure I have about an hour and 20 minutes just to see how this goes.
Okay, so you're what, Central Time?
Yeah, we're 9:41 right now.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
It's really convenient me and you being on the same time, so I don't ever have to do the conversion like I do with Doug.
yeah, I've got another technical question for you, Alex. Do you have an extra VGA, DVI, and HDMI cable? Boy, this is tech tonight right off the bat.
There you go.
You would have it already.
I can probably use the VGA cable I already have, and disconnect it from the monitor.
Okay.
But I don't have a DVI cable, and I don't happen to have another HDMI cable because all of my HDMI cables are in use at the moment.
And you use one TV as a monitor, right? So it looks like Jeff's getting ready to take off. You use one TV as a monitor and a monitor as a monitor.
I use an HP monitor as my main monitor.
Right.
And
But-
then my TV is.
Don't you have 2 monitors though? I thought we talked about one time you did have 2 monitors, or not? Or am I confusing someone else?
He's using the TV as a monitor, Ken.
Right.
I do not have 2 monitors. I only have 1 monitor, and I use my TV as a second monitor. But unless I really wanted to do some, massive rearranging, I really don't have room for like 2 monitors side by side. Because my actual monitor right now is up on is up on a shelf
Right. Yeah. You
above,
showed me that.
above where my computer is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, if you're short an HDMI cable or something, I just through a set of circumstances have some I'm not using. I've got a
But I'm perfectly okay with just having, you know, with just having one monitor and using my TV as a second
Okay.
monitor because my TV is mounted on the wall, so that's convenient. And
What is
and it can
DVI?
do-
I don't even know what that is.
now. Can you
Digital
see
video out.
that's
And
a
It's a
DVI connection? I think, if my memory serves.
yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
But the confusing thing about
Thank you, Jeff.
DVI connections is there's actually like 3 different types of DVI.
Well, I knew there were at least 2.
There's like DVI-A, DVI-I, and DVI-D.
Yeah,
Something
this
like
one
that.
I don't know what it is because I didn't buy this cable. It was given to me.
And so you got to be really careful when you
So
buying a motherboard with DVI on it or buying cables.
Yeah,
make
anyway,
sure
this
you
is
buy the
one that-
right stuff.
okay.
This goes between HDMI and one of the DVIs, and I don't know which way it's supposed to go. I suspect it's DVI to HDMI.
Yeah, my knowledge is HDMI. I know what that is, and I know what the RGB one is, and that's it. That's all I need
My
to
mom
know.
used to have one of those really old square monitors, and she got a computer. She got an HP computer back in 2011 that I replaced with her current one that only had DVI on it. And even though the monitor or the computer, I don't remember which, came with a DVI to VGA converter, it did not work. So in order for her to use the computer, after she got the computer, got it home and tried to hook it up, we realized that she couldn't hook it up, so we had to go back out to the Best Buy and get another monitor. And that's still currently the same monitor that she is using, but
Okay.
it
Well-
works fine, and like the one that I have.
Okay.
And what's strange is some motherboards, which you might think would have several kinds of video outputs, only have one.
Well,
The motherboard I bought for the build, which is a moderately expensive board, and has a 1200 socket on it, only has HDMI on it. And some of the boards that Kerry uses for his long-term builds recently, which are less expensive than this board, have more kinds of outputs.
yeah.
I made sure that when I put the parts and everything together to build my mom's computer, so I got her a motherboard with all 3 connections, VGA, DVI, and HDMI, so that when we first got it put together, I could hook it to my screen in my room with HDMI, and she could hook it up to her current monitor with DVI, so she wouldn't have to swap any cable. All she had to do was unplug everything from her current HP and plug it into the new computer, and everything worked, including the power cable, since it was just a normal standard.
So Gary just tested the
Okay.
link for us by leaving and coming right back in, so we know that's good.
Well, when I selected this motherboard, I was planning to buy a graphics card. And I ordered all of these parts right before the big graphics card shortage. And I had one picked out I was going to buy, and I looked at the money. And I said, I'm a little short this month, so I'll buy the graphics card in a month. And a month later, I couldn't get one
Yeah.
at a reasonable price. And I was just trying to buy a mid-range card that was maybe $240.
Sure. No, I could relate to that too.
And so now, I mean, this has integrated graphics and it's going to work. But the graphics card I looked at had all 3 types of outputs on it, you know. So.
Yeah.
But live and learn.
Sure. Very true. So on a kind of odd changing the subject personal note, I broke the 260 barrier. I actually weighed 255 pounds this morning. I haven't weighed that since the 7th grade in high school.
Yeah.
Been a long
I
time.
can relate to that.
My next goal is
What
to
did
get
you
under
start at?
250. Do what, Gary?
What did you start at?
Depends on when we want to talk about when we started. Do we want to talk about 2 years ago, or I think the heaviest I've ever been in my life was 280, that I know of. Okay, actual stepping on the scales and going, eek, was right at 280. There were people that speculated I might have been a little bit closer to 300 at one point in time, but I never did step on the scale to verify that. And not because I was afraid it would get verified. I just didn't want to step on the scale because I knew I was big. Is that no? That's not Olivia. That's a new grandchild. Must be his grandson. I've been hanging at 260 for the longest time. It was kind of refreshing, you know. And I mean, 5 pounds. That's 4 or 5 gallons of water easily. But it's kind of was refreshing. If I can get under 250, that especially through the holidays, if I can get under 250 during the holidays, that'll be good. I could wait. Go ahead, Greg.
They say it takes a while to lose the weight.
One of the smartest things I was ever told was you didn't put it on overnight, and it's not coming off overnight.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the situation that some days I can barely walk doesn't help. But there are other things, according to the VA, I can do. Vacuum, wash the dishes, fold clothes. I'm like, I still got to walk if I'm vacuuming.
Yeah.
I still got to walk if I'm doing laundry, But it is what it is. But I just wanted to share that. I felt pretty good about that. I did find out today my mom about burnt the house down last week. I wish somebody would have told me that last week.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh was correct.
Yeah.
I don't know. Communication line. I get it from my mom. She's 83. She gets a pass. She is allowed to forget things, But my sister, who's living with her for the sole purpose of taking care of her, should have told me the day that happened.
Yeah, I would think so.
You would think so. I guess it was pretty bad, and it was whatever was burning was so bad you could not see your hand in front of your face. So they were lucky.
In the kitchen, or do
Yeah.
you know?
No, it was well, the whole house was, from what I was told, was filled with smoke. And
Smoke, but I mean the fire was in the kitchen.
well, there was
whatever.
no fire per se. Something was clearly burning, though. And
Okay, whatever was
sure.
smoking was in the
Yeah,
kitchen. Maybe
and I
should
would
put it that way.
tend to agree with you. I think there was something on fire, and that probably got disposed of by my mom, knowing how my sister is. The concern that I have is it's a gas stove, and she cooks on high, and her robe that she wears dangles a little bit, and
Yeah,
not
not necessarily a good combination.
no, it's horrible. That thing could go up so quick.
Reminds me of a Rescue 911 episode I was watching at one time. If y'all remember that show.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
I do.
I do.
William
Especially when my mother was older like that. In her apartment, they had an electric stove. I mean, it's still possible to catch stuff on
Oh,
fire,
sure.
but not as easily as with gas.
It's a woman thing. Lorna burns stuff all the time, and I'll go in there and
Well-
say, "What's burning?" She'll go, "Nothing." And you got this much of burnt stuff in the bottom of the pan, And
Well, and I have found myself leaving something on the stove to overheat, and it's kind of stupid, really. But if I have a big pan, I wash everything with my hands. I mean, just my wife and me normally. I
Right.
don't put it in the dishwasher. In fact, the dishwasher's broken, but I stick stuff in it and let it dry.
yeah,
And if the pan is too big to go in there, after I get it clean, I'll set it on the stove, and I may light the burner under it on low and let it dry out while I'm still standing there doing stuff. But I've been known on occasion to walk away and leave a low fire under something, which is not bright. And
yep.
as the older I get, I maybe should stop doing that.
I think we've all done that.
Yeah.
I remember years ago. You're probably gonna say this guy is really stupid was really stupid for doing this, but years ago when I was when I was a little younger and we lived at the apartment complex, I would take those little mini marshmallows that you put in hot chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
put them put them on the put them on a metal fork, go in the kitchen, turn the burner up to high, and then hold the fork over the burner and
Have your own marshmallow roast.
and
Yep.
wait until the marshmallows get charred or whatever, brown, and turn the burner off, and then do that like 3 or 4 or 5 times, and needless to say, my mom wasn't happy about that.
Well, at least you were right there watching it. The stuff I do is I switch it on, then I'm doing something else, and I say, "Oh well, dishes are done," and I walk away.
Yeah, I've done
That's-
that. I was going to say 2 things. I've done that. I've started something. I'll walk away,
Yeah.
forget all about it. And the dishwasher we have is probably the best dishwasher in the world. It's got 2 components: the right hand and the left hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Even when we had dishwashers, we never used them. They were
Well,
a
and then-
storage.
The dishwasher we have in this house, it's funny. We made the deal to buy the house and had the inspection and yada yada and signed the contract and all this. And the dishwasher the previous owner had died after that. So they bought a new dishwasher and put it in the kitchen. I mean, it was the least expensive one that they could buy. And we didn't use it much. But then at some point in time, I noticed it had quit working. I said, well, it was cheap, yada yada.
Yeah.
And so I just let it go, since I do most everything by hand anyway. And then I found a letter that had come from where I had registered the warranty on the thing. And I found out that I could have had it fixed under warranty and didn't, and just let it go.
Yeah.
Not that we would have used it a lot anyway, but I should have opened the letter from the manufacturer, which was notifying me that the warranty was going to expire on such and such a date. And it came after the dishwasher was broken, but before the warranty had expired.
Yeah. I'm giggling at chat. Someone asked where Blackwatch is at, and Tony Wallace said, locked up. And then somebody said, that's a good place for him. That's funny.
Jeff, have you got one of those air vents on your sink for your dishwasher?
Yeah, I mean, it hooks in there, yeah.
Check that, because mine did that, and I did some research, and they said, oh, it's the pump. So I ordered a pump from eBay. It's only $27. Put it in there. It still wouldn't drain the water out of the dishwasher. Kept leaving a couple inches of water in there. It's supposed to be bone dry. So then I replaced all the hose going up there. And then on one of the websites, second or third thing they said to check is check that ventilator. Take the top off.
Yeah, I know where it is, yeah.
And inside there is a little clip that you can pull out. Mine had 2 plastic tangs from a plastic fork in there.
Yeah.
A bunch of debris, cleaned it out, and I ain't had a problem in 8 months now.
I'll look at it, but this one nothing works on it. It doesn't turn on at all. So,
Might not be grounded.
Excuse me.
anyway, well, things aren't as simple as they used to be. The first house we bought, which was 1981, had an old Sears Kenmore washer and dryer in it, avocado green as they sold them way back in the day. And they were pretty simple things, and when something went wrong with it, I could generally just look at it and figure out what was wrong and fix
Yeah.
it. I even replaced one of the supports on the tub in the washer. It had 3 steel rods, and on each end there was a little circle thing welded, and that side it sat inside a little rubber ball, which laid in a mount there, sort of like a shock absorber thing. And one of the welds broke on one of those, which the guy at the parts place said almost never happened, but I was even able to replace that. And now the last time I had something go out on a washer, couldn't figure it out and called the guy out. And all the crap that runs the washer was in a little circuit board about this big. And if
Yeah.
it craps out, it's just like losing a computer module in your car.
Yeah.
And I mean, when one of those craps out, you may, at some point, it's cheaper to buy a new piece of equipment
Sure.
than it is to replace, say,
Sure.
more than one of those. But damn, these washer and dryer we got now, we bought it at a Kmart/Sears store here in Las Vegas where they sold refurbished stuff and got a reasonable price on it. But if you buy a nice washer and dryer new now, you're spending $2,000 at
Not
least.
Me.
Yeah.
Not me, I won't.
Yeah, we don't have room in our house, and like even when we had dishwashers, we never used them, ever.
I use mine every third day.
Yeah. I'll give you guys a quick storm update. I talked to my neighbor today, and he thinks that tree was damaged through wind, not lightning. He's not. He wasn't 100% sure, but he said, I think it was wind. His
Looked
mom's
like it had a
house.
discoloration on it.
I know. His mom's house did get some damage from the wind, in that she has to replace her roof. So, and his mom lives about 7 miles outside of town, in the middle, literally, of the cornfields. So, we were lucky. We were extremely lucky. It could have been far worse. I've been looking at pictures that Robert's been posting on Facebook, and that area just got, just devastated. There were, I believe, 6 deaths at the Amazon facility, and I read tonight where they said they don't expect to find any more survivors. So that's not good.
Yeah, in Kentucky, they were someplace between, I think, 70 and 100 dead. I don't know what the number is now.
Is that in, what was that, Mayfield, I think?
Well, Mayfield had a lot. There was a candle factory there that collapsed when there were like 100 people inside it. The roof just wham. And I don't know what the death toll was in that particular building, but it wasn't good.
No. I'm going to check something here.
Have you played around anymore with the website and stuff I've set up?
No, Alex, I haven't had time. I've barely had time to check my email and stuff. The weekends that we go to Indiana, it's real hectic. Indiana woman finds Kentucky family photo that traveled over 150 miles from where the tornado hit. Wow. I wanted to check a sports score real quick. No, I haven't. I haven't done anything in DaVinci Resolve. I did find my folder that I created, and I did name it what I thought I named it, and I did put it on the hard drive I thought I put it on. I just couldn't find it last night, because today I went right to it, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Named like I thought it would be. So, I don't know what was wrong. Old age, I guess. I'm too young to have those moments. What were we
Okay,
talking?
and that Mayfield thing, 8 factory workers died.
Wow. Is that the candle place?
I'm assuming it is. I'm just looking at sort of a summary thing from some TV station. The death toll, I guess, in the whole state is over 80 now.
Wow. Rick Lakes just posted that someone on the news said the warehouse swayed left and right 3 times, and then said the entire roof caved in. That's devastating. I mean, what would you do if you seen the roof going that way, and that way 3 times? Where are you going to go?
Underneath something.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah, under a table if there's something like that there, I guess.
Yeah, that's the new. Yeah, that's the new thing to do. I don't know where we would go in this house. I really don't.
I know it's not necessarily funny, but you know the old saying, put your head between your legs and
Yeah.
kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, when it's real, it's not funny.
No. I watched a couple videos on it from the dark, and oh man, that was scary. So, here in about 10 or so minutes, I'm going to take off. I'm going to stop the stream on YouTube, but I will give Alex the hosting duties for Zoom so you guys can continue to talk if you'd like, and I'll be back as
Well,
soon as I
it's
can.
getting late enough here. I'm going to go make supper, so I just wanted to say hi for a little bit.
What are we
tonight.
having? I may just run out there real quick.
Well, if you can get here in time, I'll make you some.
I've
We're
driven.
probably having pasta shells with spaghetti sauce.
Oh, that sounds good. Sounds
That's
real
what
good.
my wife asked for, and the kids want mac and cheese.
You kill
That
two
usually
birds with
works for
one
kids.
stone. Split the shells up and do mac and shells. Tell them it's macaroni. So
Well, I asked my grandson. No, that wouldn't pass. So.
yeah. So Robert
Right,
said the
guys, take
videos.
care.
Okay, well, hopefully you'll be back, and we'll see you later.
All right.
All right. Robert said the videos and pictures. I work at both counties and live in one. So, wow, I did not know that because he's posted a lot of pictures that are just. I mean, you have to feel for those people. If there was any way I could volunteer to get down there, I would. If we had a second car, there's no doubt I'd already be down there helping someone out, but we don't. And I don't think her work's going to understand. We're taking a week off to go help tornado victims out. I don't know. We should test it. They're under
I
new.
friended Robert on Facebook, and if that setup he's got at his house, and he posted on Facebook, that he posted that picture on Facebook, that's amazing. I don't see how you manage all those screens.
Yeah, it's. How's your weather, Gary?
30.
Rain, snow,
No, dry today.
just cold.
Yeah, yes. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert says he knows every square inch of that area by heart. He probably grew up there, and he probably does. My friend's husband that passed away, that I told you guys about, I guess her brother was about 3 miles away from a tornado in Tennessee. I've reached out to her, but she hasn't gotten back to me. Of course, she's going through a rough time right now, so I don't want to bug her too much. Was any of your farmland in Kentucky affected, Gary?
Nope.
Not
Little, ended up being about a little bit, almost half inch of rain, and that's about it.
Yeah. Clearly, it's weird weather for December. I mean,
Oh my God, climate change, climate change.
Yeah.
Okay, Greta. That's what I like about Gary. A, he gets the joke. B, he doesn't get offended about it. And 3, he laughs about it. So that's great.
I was hoping somebody would say that.
It's 35 here now. Tomorrow the low is supposed to be 49. Tuesday is supposed to be 62. Wednesday is supposed to be 64. Thursday is supposed to be 51 and thunderstorm, and then it's not supposed to not really be cold again until Saturday.
We got 33 right now.
Yeah, we're 39 current temperature and a low of 33 predicted. And later on this week, it was supposed to be in the 60s, but now, okay, 62, 63 with an 80% chance of rain, so that's not good. But that's fine. I want to get my garage cleaned out. I did manage to give away a fish tank. Down to 1 to give away.
Getting rid of your fish.
No, I had 17 tanks at one time. I've got 2 active tanks now. I've got that one back there that does have fish in it, which you get to see. It's not doing too well, and I got to get a little bit of energy one day and clean it. And then I've got a 20-gallon long in the other room that's got all kind of fish and doesn't have any problems whatsoever. And it's got plants in it more that are doing better than the fish. And honestly, we're phasing that out. I'm kind of glad we didn't get the 65-gallon tank now, because that would have been too much work. That's the other thing I'm finding out as I get older. Some of the things that I used to do relatively easily are not so easily done anymore.
Oh yeah.
I'm just And my mom, I tease my mom about it. I'm like, is there anything else you want to tell me about this? And she goes, no, you'll find out. So, I mean, it is what it is, you know? Part of aging, I guess.
Yeah.
I never pictured when I was younger what I would look like or be doing at 62. I honestly can say I did not.
I just wonder where all the time went.
Yeah. When you reflect back on some things, you do have to go, where did the time go?
Yeah.
I mean, like my sons are 36 and 34, and it just seems like yesterday they were born. It really does. I don't know.
My oldest is 40.
And Gary, he had kids straight out of. Well, did you have kids out of high school or college, Gary? Gary's got himself muted. That's probably an old age moment. He probably didn't mean to do that. Yeah, Robert. I bet it is. Robert just said, it's depressing to me to think back in the past of the good old days. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
I won't.
What was your question?
Did you have your kids out of high school or college? I don't remember.
Out of college.
That's what I thought.
No, out of bachelor's degree.
Out of. But you got married pretty close out of high school, did you not?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I mean, there are some memories I can retain, and for some reason, I'm horrible with names. I mean, if I don't put yellow sticky notes up on my monitor to know who you guys are, I'm just totally lost. So.
No, I promised my mom I'd keep going to college.
At least you only put yellow sticky notes up by your monitor with names. My mom puts sticky notes up in her monitor with passwords.
As long as nobody's coming in the house, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's actually a joke, Alex, because everybody's name is on your video. So I don't have to do the sticky note thing. All I got to do is get real close to the screen and say, "Oh, Greg's over there." See, comedy, sometimes it doesn't go over well.
In offices, a lot of people.
I'm not very good at getting jokes.
We'll change your name to Doug then. Hang on, I'll take care of that right now.
So did Doug buy that computer?
You know, I couldn't figure out a way to work it into the conversation. We were covering things pretty quickly. We did talk about Carrie a little bit and the 3-second version of the subscription, but we wanted to discuss some other things. I don't know why he did it privately. I honestly don't. I kind of think I do know why, but he was trying to learn something for himself to share later on. Mm-hmm. So, because I'm sitting here, I get this notification that says you have a private YouTube invitation. I'm like, huh? I knew we were doing Zoom, but I didn't realize we were going to do the private. So I'm like, do I click on it? Do I not? Do I click on it? Do I not? And then I started Zoom, and I was doing other things in the background. All of a sudden, I hear, "Hello, Ken," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I started that Zoom session." So I had to shut down what I was doing. So it was interesting. It was fun. The main thing is I did learn that you can change your name. You do retain your mod status, and I'm going to have to get a sub channel, I guess is what it's called, at some point in time. There's no rush on that. And we did change my name, and it had instantly changed on, because we were watching one of Doug's older videos, and this is what I found to be really fascinating. We changed the name today, and it instantly changed.
Stout live, right?
Correct. Yes.
Duh.
Duh. Yeah. Well, I've said that for years. People that ask me, "What do I search for?" And I always tell them Ken Stout Live because that's what I use in the title. But now it's the official name, if you will. We'll see. I mean, not a big deal. We talked about growing the channel, and it grows, if it don't, it don't. You know, I understand that. I'm not ever looking to make money, and I think everyone knows that. So it was fun. It was a good two. I like talking with Doug. I like doing the things we do. I did ask him the question for Alex about how he does his thumbnails, and he showed me that. That was pretty cool. We talked about Zoom a little bit. And that was it. I wanted to talk to him about Wondershare Filmora, but I didn't quite get to that point.
So he did a private YouTube.
We did at
and
least
he's
two
going
private.
to edit it and publish it later, or not publish it at all.
I can't speak on his behalf, but I believe that's what he's going to do, yes. And I know we did at least two, and I think we did three. And I say I think we did three because he was having difficulties getting one to stop and start another one. So I don't know if that took place or not. In fact, I'm going to try something here since it's 10:15. I am actually going to go into OBS. I'm going to show this over the stream and everything. Oh, no, yeah, I can. I'm going to, for those of you, Tony Wallow, Rick Lakes, Kenny Witten, Robert, everyone else that's on the stream, you may temporarily not see the stream, but you should still be able to comment and chat. I'm hoping I get a round circle in the middle of the YouTube stream, because I'm actually going to go in here and stop the stream right now and see what happens. Hopefully the circle goes away and it looks like we're back to the stream. Cool. Whoa. You guys are all fuzzy and funny looking over here. I need to refresh my screen, I think.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Okay, the refresh that. So that's kind of, well, chat went away. That's kind of nice. Gary put an I in there, I guess, or a 1. I'm not sure.
Actually,
yeah, go ahead.
L, I think.
Oh.
Okay.
A little L?
Yes.
Okay. That's good to know, because if I ever need to stop the YouTube stream, I know now, well, pause the YouTube stream, I know I can stop it, do whatever needs to be done, hit start again in OBS, and it'll pick it right back up. One of the things Doug wasn't sure about was, would it pick up anything that was said while it was stopped? And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, common sense says if it's not streaming, it can't pick it up.
I would think so.
I would think so. So we tested that too. So I would really like to be privileged to watch him edit it, just to see what he's going to do and how he does it. But, you know, hopefully a video will come out this week on that. So for the people on YouTube, I will be back on YouTube at the normal, probably 10:40 or so, because she said 10:30, and I've learned to give that a 10-minute cushion. Although tonight she's probably gonna. You've retracted 2 messages, Gary. I seen the first one was an L. What was the second one?
L.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nobody.
Oh no, I find it's funny when people retract messages. If I see them, and it's usually Black watching something comical, I'll giggle or laugh or whatever, and then he retracts them. I find the retraction part to be more funny than the original comment. So, Alex,
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
I know you're leaving, but I got a quick Redis comment. You know, Obama and Biden, it both brought land that is actually beachfront land on the Atlantic Ocean. There's Miami has guy rides, and they're not for sale. Doesn't that make you wonder if the oceans are rising? How come they don't do that? I mean, basically, it tells you Biden and either Biden or Obama are idiots, or they wouldn't have bought those houses.
Well, if the ocean's clearly rising, that would be a concern, but
maybe they know something.
We probably can discuss that when it's not going out for everybody and anyone in the world to pick it up on a live stream.
You know what?
Not that I'm concerned and worried about it, but
Don't comment on what I said. I don't care.
That was Gary, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. So,
No, it is here.
yeah, you know, Greg's older, you're older, I'm older. Blackwatch, when he joins, is older. There was a time in our lives when you didn't have to worry about what you said if you were going to offend someone with
Yeah,
just
I don't wanna get in
everyday
trouble.
common sense stuff, you know? It's horrible. So, I got 1 minute before my alarm's going to go off. See, I did plan this. I should be late, though, just to make her mad, but
So what are you getting for dinner?
dinner was I cooked some pork, and she had made rice earlier in the day because I can't cook rice, um, and I literally can't cook rice. If I we've got a rice cooker. I've tried it in that, and I still can't cook rice. And whoa, it's so easy. You put 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water.
That's
I
it.
still screw it up. So I gave up on
Get
that.
Uncle Bill's instant rice.
That would be a disaster as well. So she
I
cooks the
use-
rice, I cook the food.
I use Success brand jasmine rice. I think that's good. Just
Yeah,
drop
my
the
wife
bag
said-
in the water, and 12 minutes later, it's done.
I haven't had rice to eat since September of 2019. I was just looking for an excuse not to eat rice, and when they said, "Well, you're diabetic, Mr. Stout, you really shouldn't eat white rice," I'm like, "Whew, solves that problem." So, Rick Lake said, "I never tried to cook rice. The fire department would be here." Yeah, I can relate to that. Talking about burning things, I have burnt some rice in my day. So anyway, I'm gonna stop the stream. Alex, you're gonna inherit the hosting duties. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So let me go to the globe. Hopefully it will not take forever. It did not. I'm gonna go over here somewhere and stop the stream. So Rick, Tony, Kenny, Robert, some dude named Gary, thank you for watching me on the stream. I will be back in a little bit. Hope to see all of you there, but I understand it will be later tonight. So YouTube is ended.
Thanks for the warning.